There's a moment in every man's life when he realizes that his biggest battle was never with the world around him, but with the quiet resistance within himself. And the strange thing is, this resistance doesn't show up as a loud enemy. It hides in hesitation, in overthinking, in the small emotional frictions that drain your strength long before you take your first step. Today, I want to reveal a principle that dissolves that resistance so you can move through life with a sense of clarity and steady inner power. A principle found in ancient texts, but needed now more than ever. It's the art of acting without forcing, the state where discipline becomes natural, focus becomes effortless, and your direction no longer feels like a fight. Men who master this state don't appear frantic. They don't look desperate. They move through life like they already know where they belong. Women notice it. Opportunities respond to it. And your own mind becomes a quieter place because you're no longer wrestling with yourself every morning. To understand this state, imagine a man named Adrian. From the outside, he seemed productive. He worked hard, he stayed busy, he filled every hour with tasks. But inside, he was exhausted. Every accomplishment felt heavy. Every goal felt distant. Every routine felt like another obligation dragging him through the day. He wasn't failing because he lacked discipline. He was failing because his discipline was built on tension instead of alignment. And tension always breaks. One evening, while scrolling through old quotes, Adrian read something that stopped him instantly. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. For the first time, he wondered what his life would look like if he stopped operating from pressure and started operating from mental alignment instead. This thought became his turning point. The next morning, instead of forcing himself into a rigid routine, he sat still and asked a simple question. What is the next action my mind and body are not resisting? Not the hardest, not the most impressive, just the one that felt naturally available. That decision changed everything, because when you remove resistance, momentum builds itself. Adrian noticed that when he stopped fighting himself, he actually did more. His mind became quiet. His work became smoother. Even the gym, something he used to push himself into, started feeling like an easy extension of his day. He wasn't using more force. He was using less, and that's why it finally worked. But the biggest transformation appeared in his emotional energy. He stopped reacting to everything that didn't matter. He stopped chasing validation. He stopped trying to prove himself to people who weren't even paying attention. And this shift created a presence that others could feel the moment he walked into a room. Women sense it immediately. Because a man who isn't at war with himself moves differently. He doesn't rush. He doesn't seek approval. His calm becomes a sign of strength, not laziness. His silence becomes a sign of depth, not confusion. This is the quiet power of alignment. When a man acts from alignment instead of pressure, he becomes consistent without forcing consistency. He becomes focused without tightening his mind. He becomes disciplined without draining his spirit. Every action comes from a centered place. Every decision comes from clarity instead of fear. And life begins to feel like a path he is following, not a battlefield he is surviving. Adrian's life didn't transform in one day. It wasn't a miracle. It was a shift from pushing life to flowing with it, from forcing progress to allowing momentum, from emotional tension to mental spaciousness. And here is the truth most men never learn. Your greatest strength is not how hard you push. Your greatest strength is how little resistance you carry. When you drop the internal resistance, you don't become passive. You become unstoppable.